What up, live? Hello, live. Marla's not here to spam for us, so I'm getting to work. Hello, Summer. Welcome back in to your regularly scheduled programming. No, Summer, we're gonna talk about your school program. Yeah, she's going to Brazil this summer. Summer in summer. Oh, Redbird. He knows what's up, man. Any trouble? Okay.
Get us all set up. Can you do me a favor real quick? Can you just double check that we're live on YouTube?
Sick. Sick. If anyone in the TikTok live prefers YouTube, we are live on YouTube right now, so
Yeah, we
you
are live
could
on YouTube.
do a little migrate if you want.
All right, Miles. Are you ready, sir?
Yes. Hi, John.
Hi, John. Yeah, we don't really have to do the claps anymore because there's no lining up the video.
I like the ritual.
Yeah. All right, my boy.
Let go.
Here we go. What up, Depth Chart? It's your boy, young broadcaster Jared Young, here on the set of the 2 Point Perspective with my co-host Miles on the mic, Miles Sweeney. Thanks so much for being here today, man. How you doing?
Glad to be here. It's been a long day, but
yeah, it has been a long day. I'm pretty beat today.
Yeah, but we get to be rejuvenated on this set in front of this camera, in front of the live, both lives.
Yeah,
live on YouTube today.
Yep, live on YouTube. The quality of the stream on YouTube is probably a little bit better because it's actually running. It's not running off our phone like the TikTok is. It's actually running through our camera, which is pretty sweet. So you guys are going to be able to get a little bit more audio if you guys want to check that out. You'll get some more of our sound bites, and I'll be playing some audio through my phone today from an interview that we'll be talking about. So if you guys want to check that out, check out the YouTube live. Hopefully, I hope that starts to work out, and we're going to be moving towards a much better process here very soon. John's going to be joining us on set a little bit more. We're going to be upgrading a lot of our equipment and our set very soon here, which is really exciting. So
it's going to be very exciting. Jared,
yeah,
you start us off, man.
I absolutely will. It looks like Stevie is unhappy being in here. Maybe we want to let her out.
Well, how about you start us off, and
right.
I'll take care of her.
Yeah, she's already screaming at us. Should she make a guest appearance first? Stevie on the live. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Stevie, for your contribution. Come on, out of the studio now. Thanks, Miles. All right, man. So to start us off, I got Tremaine Edmonds. The Bears have officially granted him permission to seek a trade. I think that's pretty exciting. That's a big name. I think he could end up with a pretty solid contender. I think the Bears are going good places, but at the same time, they probably don't have the capital to support a player like that, right? You're going to see a lot of players who helped them in this last season that were really pivotal probably move away from that, right? DJ Moore won't be there anymore. Right. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what direction the Bears go moving forward. I'm hopeful for their future, especially with Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
But with the loss of big name players, I wonder how they'll recover from that. Maybe they'll make it up in the draft.
I think, I think Ben Johnson, now that he's there, he's a good voice for Ryan Poles in the front office. So I think they can make up for it. And I didn't expect them to, they could have gone to the NFC Championship game. I didn't expect them to be that good. They definitely went on a heater at the end of the year. So it is kind of the bittersweet thing if you have such a good year, but you're going to be losing those pieces who helped you get there. But I think they're going to be more buttoned up from here on out. So they're going to make up for it, whether it's free agency or the draft.
Right. Next on my list, Jonte Porter. This man was banned from the NBA. If you guys don't remember, he was banned from the NBA for life for an NBA betting scandal. I'm pretty sure though that he bet on himself. Like he was, banking on himself.
Right.
So it's not like he was like a betting against his team or anything like that, which is, I have conflicting feelings about that. If you're betting on yourself to get a lot of points that night,
if you're
that's got to be a good thing, right?
It's better than like point shaving and like betting the under, and you're like, I'm not scoring my prop. So,
but the NBA and the NFL have and baseball, they all have zero tolerance policies for a lot of these things.
Sponsored by DraftKings too. Yeah, that'll be the first thing you see during the commercial break. So.
Yeah, right. But he is back on the basketball scene. He just joined a new USBL team, the Seattle Superhawks. So, USBL. Have you heard a lot about USBL, Miles?
No.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about them. I assume they're kind of like a USFL type of deal.
Same ballpark.
Yeah. Kind of not necessarily semi-pro, but a lower level professional league.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I imagine that. Next on my list, I got James Harden. The man fractured his thumb in their win against the Knicks. Now, the Cavs were on the up since the Harden trade. I think they won, you said 5 straight. Is that correct, Miles?
They were like undefeated. They still might be, but yeah, they were playing really well ever since that trade.
Yeah, they were on the up and up. And now, I don't have any timeline on when Harden will return. But a fractured thumb, you can't play without your hands, right?
So, right.
And then finally on my list, I wanted to talk about this guy, Jonathan Kuminga. Tough start for him in his career with the Warriors. Could never really take off. His first game since being traded to the Hawks, he has 27 points off the bench. That's pretty good, man. In his first game, they're against Washington. So I
think he'll be moving up into the starting 5 potentially.
Right.
So coming off the bench doing that, this is what I was really intrigued with, and we talked about this after he got traded. And I compare it to Jordan Poole. He was never the caliber of player in Golden State that Poole was, but he's getting that opportunity to actually make a name for himself and be the primary ball handler, scorer, whatever it is that he didn't get to do in that rotation in Golden State. And that's a good start to do that.
Right.
So it's going to be intriguing. I've always had belief in him. It always kind of bewildered me why his rotations were so just like, I can't even think of the word, but he's never really given a chance. And if you're going to be on a team like that really has no future right now, no goals for this season, you can blossom like that. I saw Jordan Poole do it a little bit, but then that fell off. So you're going to see how that unfolds.
Who you got on your list, Miles?
I got a couple of Suns boys. Dylan Brooks breaking his hand breaks my heart. He was the second leading scorer for the Suns, just behind Devin Booker, and he fractured his left hand. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And speaking of Devin Booker, he's also been out with a right hip strain. Without those two, the Suns have been a disaster. I think they've like 3-7 in their last 10 games, something like that. It's obvious that Jalen Green either hasn't fully adapted, or I still think the way that he plays the game as the primary scorer is not the most fluent way of basketball. I think what the Suns have done really well is their ball movement. They've gotten a lot of different guys involved, but he's still kind of in that Houston zone of, a lot of isolation. He can put up 26, but he's going to get there with 20 shots. And they had one of the worst scoring nights I've seen against Portland, I believe, where they only had 77 points. They're missing Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker badly right now, especially in a time of the year where you're trying to get into a top 6 seed and solidify that spot for you to avoid having to go through the play-in, where Golden State's hovering around that. Like the Clippers have been getting hotter as the year progresses. So,
and where are the Suns sitting right now, Miles?
I believe they're going to be sitting at 8 right now. They've been at 7 for a long time. I'm going to guess that they fell to 8. And it's like the West. A lot of teams are losing games right now too. So it's still a very close, just separation in terms of that. But the less games you have, the less room for error you have too.
Right.
So they gotta get healthy and pick it up. And then very lastly, your boy Jason Tatum. Speaking of getting healthy, he's at full go in scrimmages now, and
that is exciting.
And we saw the reports about him, practicing, playing with the G League team. And just to remind you guys, he tore his Achilles in May in the Eastern Conference semifinals, or the final. I can't remember. But, I mean, he was
9 months later
into the playoffs. Yeah, 9 months later, when it could be 18-month recovery time. And he's,
right.
And you made the point yesterday of like, well, I mean, he's a multimillionaire. He's one of the best at his positions. And money talks. He's going to be getting the best care and the best treatment. So, something like this.
If Aaron Rodgers can do it, so can Jason Tatum.
Yeah, who's like 15 years younger.
Well,
so.
and this is going to be huge for the Celtics as they move into the playoffs here, right? They're right at the number 2 seed, trying to fend off the Knicks, still right below them. They did just drop a game to Denver, but I think that as we get closer to playoff time, having Jason Tatum in the rotation, even if he's coming off the bench, is going to be huge, right? It's going to give Jaylen Brown a break. And even if he's not at 100% or he's not back to the same level that he was before,
right?
We're talking about an MVP candidate, right? At different times in his career, and that can't be. That's nothing to scoff at. So
right. Thank you, Marla, for the roses and the Go Populars. We were missing you. I was having to do the spamming for us. Yeah, I'm curious to see, because Jaylen Brown's been going off this year, and obviously Tatum wouldn't come back, like you said, in full capacity. He's going to have minutes load. He's probably going to come off the bench. But how's that going to look going into the playoffs? And would Jason Tatum be ready for the next Olympics? Would he play for that Winter Olympics? No basketball, but USA got a lot of gold this year.
Did you say Winter Olympics? Summer Olympics.
This winter, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would he be ready for summer? But this Winter Olympics, U.S. still won a lot of gold. It is the medal count.
Sorry, Miles. I really stole your thunder there.
Yeah, the medal count. Winter Olympics is over. And U.S. did pretty good. I mean, in terms of total and gold, they fell just behind Norway. But
second or third?
They were second.
Second, okay.
But I'm just going to go over everything they won gold in. And, some of these happened a little while ago, some of these more recent. But in terms of the three freestyle skiing, they got 3 of them, and they got 8 total. And it started off with a horrible story of Lindsey Vonn, you know,
right, tearing her ACL.
right, yeah, just like absolutely, like her leg basically exploded. Like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and they still get 3 golds out of that, which is really impressive. And that was the event that led in the gold medals. Next up was speed skating, where they got 2, and they got 5 total. So, and I believe that was one of the more. It was either that or the figure skating. That was one of the more recent ones that was won by the U.S. Next up, another 2 burger for alpine skiing. They got 4 total, and 2 for figure skating with 3 total medals. So it was either speed or figure skating. That was one of the more recent ones. And then 2 for ice hockey, men's and women's, making history.
Yep.
What was it? First time since 1980 for the men's to win one,
the US
correct?
men,
And then what was the statistic with the women's?
They are now 5-3 against Canada. So for
Yeah.
gold medals, so the U.S. has 3 gold medals and Canada has 5 for the women. And it's the first time ever that the men and women have both won the gold medal in a single Olympics. So that's really exciting.
That's pretty. I mean, they both played really well, and both of the gold medal games were pretty tight.
Yeah,
they had to win in extraordinary fashion. So yeah, huge shout out to the hockey teams. And then very last but certainly not least, 1 gold medal for bobsledding. Are you a big bobsledder?
Am I a big bobsledder?
You watch it?
You know me, Miles.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm out there. I'm actually a professional bobsledder myself. Big time bobsled guy.
Well, we got a lot of snow here recently, so you could go down the McQueen Hills. I used to go sledding there.
Yeah,
you used to do that.
They're pretty steep. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, but that's the medal count for me. So I believe that's going to be 12 total for the U.S. Very impressive.
Yeah, super exciting, man. On my medal count, I want to talk about 22-year-old Eileen Gu. She's a Chinese-American freestyle skier, if you guys don't know. And she faced some controversy early on in the Olympics. A lot of people felt like she should have been representing the USA, and instead she chose to represent China. She was compensated for that, and I think that that's where a lot of people kind of had their gripe too. She received $6.6 million from the Chinese government to represent them in the Olympics. But you know what? She had a great Olympics. Yeah, she had a great Olympics. 3 events, 3 medals, 1 gold, 2 silver. In her last 2 Olympics, she's participated in 6 events and she's got 6 medals. So pretty exciting stuff there. But what I want to share with you guys, and if you're on the TikTok live, I apologize, you won't be able to hear this.
We'll
check out
reiterate it.
Yeah, check out the YouTube if you guys want. But I want to play an interview that she had where she was asked kind of a ridiculous question, and the clapback was pretty sweet. So give it a listen.
Do you see these as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost?
I'm the most decorated female free skier in history. I think that's an answer in and of itself. How do I say this? Winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience for every athlete. Doing it 5 times is exponentially harder because every medal is equally hard for me, but everybody else's expectations rise, right? And so the 2 medals lost situation, to be quite frank with you, I think is kind of a ridiculous perspective to take. I'm showcasing my best skiing. I'm doing things that quite literally have never been done before. And so I think that is more than good enough. But thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a statement. And I love what she said, actually. And so for you guys on the TikTok live, she was asked a question if she felt like it was for her 2 silver medals, if it was 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost. And she kind of opens up by bursting out laughing. And, she starts out by saying that she's the most decorated female free skier of all time, which is absolutely true, right? Phenomenal athlete.
Athlete.
Athlete. Yep.
Athlete.
um, and then goes on to say that, you know, every earning an Olympic medal is incredibly difficult. Every medal for her is equally as hard to get, right? But
Yeah.
every time that she gets gold, the expectation raises from everybody else. And so basically she's just saying that it's a ridiculous question.
Well, I think a long-winded way of she's suffering from success.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and you go a 4-year interval of training and preparing for these games, and you know you're gonna let some reporter scoff and like try to beat you down over 2 silvers instead of 2 golds. Like, there's such a stigma with the questions that reporters ask nowadays, and I'm glad that she was able to clap back at that, because it's ridiculous. It's like, what do you want her to say? Like, no,
Yeah.
I hate these
Right.
silvers. Like, I'm gonna throw them away. Like, no, it's hard. These
Well,
are
and
hard games. You're competing against the entire world.
I will say that different people have different perspectives, right? Some people do say that second place is just first loser, right? And that sometimes that's the mentality that a lot of people have. I love her perspective on it. I love what she's bringing to the table with that clapback. But at the same time, I think, right, there's not in the Olympics there is, but in a lot of other sports there's not really any glory in second place, right? Nobody's gonna look at the Patriots and be like, well, they made it there. I mean,
yeah.
I guess Patriots fans will, right? But
yeah,
we're not going to remember them in 5-10 years. We're going to look at the Seahawks and say the Seahawks won the Super Bowl that year,
right. Yeah,
and that's the kind of mentality that I think a lot of people have, and so, you know, it could just be a shift in mentality, right? Anybody else could have
That's
answered
fine.
that question completely different.
Yeah, you have every
but
right to be like angry that you didn't get gold,
right?
And
But I respect what she's saying, right?
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And, I can't even imagine trying to be an Olympic athlete, and especially a decorated Olympic athlete, and then trying to continue to live up to that standard over and over and over again. So,
right. Well, that could be you with the bobsledding.
It could
You're gonna
be
be winning gold.
It could be Miles. It could also be you with our dual threat bet. And you better start to pick it up, Miles, because
not winning gold now.
As of this week, man, I'm taking a 2-0 jump on you. Pretty stoked on that. Last week I had Kevin Durant plus 25.5. The man scored 30, so we're feeling pretty good over here on Jared's end.
Yep.
Sorry for speaking about myself in the third person.
It's fine. I think that's healthy for the mind to do that. It's good self-talk. There is a question about the NBA in here that I think you're gonna really put your thinking cap on for this.
All right, let's hear it.
Anthony Davis is on track to be the next Kobe Bryant / LeBron James? Or do you think that great players like James and Bryant can't really be replicated? I think that is the better question.
Well, first and foremost, I think Anthony Davis will be lucky if he gets to play this season and ends up having more than a couple of years left in his career. I do not think that Anthony Davis will be getting a ring before he retires. I do not think that they're going to have a lot of success. Ring. Yeah, right. Another ring. That's right. He has one with the Lakers. I just don't foresee his career trending in a positive way as far as postseason victory. As of right now, you know, you never know. Right, guys have a lot of longevity, but this is a man that's been injured a lot. And he fights this season in and season out, and I just don't have a lot of hope left in me for Anthony Davis.
I don't either.
What was the second piece to that question?
Or is it that players like LeBron and Kobe can't be replicated?
I think that you really can't even put people are going to hate me for this, but you can't even really put LeBron James into Kobe's category.
Why?
First of all, I heard this the other day, and I really like the sentiment here. that you can't look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and then put them in the same category as LeBron James. They're on their own level. And the reason why is because when things got hard, they didn't leave, right?
That's true.
Kobe stayed in LA. Michael, obviously, he retired and came
go play
back.
baseball,
I
yeah.
think that's a different story, right? But
Well, and his dad just got killed too at the time,
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Michael also didn't leave Chicago, though, middle
Yeah.
of his career.
Yeah.
On top of that, how many finals has LeBron lost? Yes, he made it there, right? But not Kobe, but Michael's 6 for 6,
Mm-hmm.
right? These are guys that won a lot of championships, and I'm not saying that LeBron hasn't, but he's made it there a lot. And when it didn't work out, or he had a gripe with another player or a coach or something like that, he moved on. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Do what's best for your career, but I think that those things start to build up an asterisk next to your career when you start to look at them, right? I think that those are things that have to be factored in. Now, saying that somebody can't get to that level, I think that that's a ridiculous statement too. We're talking about players that every single day. I mean, we just watched right before the show. We just watched some combine videos of defensive linemen. Every single one
Running
of them
a sub 540.
Every single one of them ran a sub 4.9. Every single one.
These dudes are not getting less athletic.
No,
And
absolutely not.
The resources that they have now are so much
Mhm.
better.
From infancy.
Yeah.
From literally infancy, right? They're being trained to be professional athletes. That's not something that a Michael Jordan or a Kobe or a LeBron had, right? LeBron got
Yeah.
a little bit of the tail end of kind of starting that trend, but you see these kids now that are playing club sports, and school sports are like second to that. They're
Mhm.
second to all of that, right? All of these kids now that are coming out of college football, college basketball, they've been playing in club since they could walk.
Yeah.
Right. And they've been getting top of the line training since those times, right? They've conditioned their bodies. And you want to talk about Olympians, they're essentially becoming real Olympians, right? Their
Yeah.
bodies are conditioned for these things. It's not like it was. And so I absolutely think that somebody can hit those levels. I'm not saying that somebody ever will, but I don't think that it's out of the picture that there will be somebody that is more athletic. And I also think that it's really tough to sit here and try to compare generations, right?
Yeah.
The game is so different now than it was then. And I also think that's why it's really hard to put LeBron in the same category as Kobe and Michael, because
Even the rules were different.
right. And these guys are playing straight through contact, right? If they get knocked down, there's no whistle, right? They're
Yeah.
not trying to flop.
And there was hand
you don't see
checking.
the same thing,
Like you
right?
were having to fight through your defender. Now it's a whistle game.
And if you watch MJ in the paint, the way that dude could move, and he's going out of, instead of trying to draw the contact, he's going out of his way to avoid it to get the bucket, right? That's not the same game that's being played now, right? You're actively trying to draw contact in
Mhm.
today's NBA so that you can get the foul call,
Yeah.
right? You're trying to get that extra point, and they didn't have that same luxury in the former league, right? And I'll
Yeah.
call it the former league because it's not the same as it was.
Yeah. I think the only thing I'll say, I try to stray away from the ring aspect of comparing greatness, because there are guys who, like JaVale McGee, I believe, has 2 NBA championships.
Mhm.
He's not better than Patrick Ewing, who's never won one, if I'm not mistaken. So it holds its weight, but I understand what you're saying. LeBron, 4 rings on 3 different teams. He's jumping around.
And that, some people could say that maybe that puts him above those guys, right?
It could be an
It could be
argument,
a
yeah.
completely different perspective. But my thought on that is that instead of staying when things got tough and making it work, it could also be perceived as he ran,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think that that's a perspective that we need to think about when we're having that conversation as well.
Yeah.
But moving on from our
We're talking about
medal count-
modern basketball
Hey,
now.
I love it, man. Keep the
Yeah.
questions coming.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Those are great talking points. But moving on from our medal count. Oh, actually, no, we're in dual threat bet.
We are in the
Man,
dual threat bet.
we really got off on a tangent. It threw me for a loop there. So this week, our Saturday night game is
electric.
Yeah, electric. Miles asked me, he's like, "Do you really want to do this game?" And I was like, "We got to stay consistent." So it is the Pelicans at the Jazz. Two teams that are just not good.
Nope. Nope. And we chose this over doing the Lakers for like the second or third time.
Yeah,
going against Golden State.
LA's getting a lot of those primetime games right now. So,
Yeah,
all right, Miles, you ready? Call it in the air.
Tails.
It is heads.
I think this is the third week in a row you've drawn.
No, you drew last week. Wait, did I draw last week?
I think
I did draw last week. Yeah, because I took KD. Man, I don't like drawing though. It's been working out for me, but it's kind of stressing me out. All right, Miles, here you go. Okay. Now he's coming back from injury. But I got Derek Queen plus 8.5 rebounds.
Yeah, is he coming back from injury? I think you're thinking of Markkanen.
Yes, you're right. You're right. My mistake.
So he is their leading rebounder right now.
I could see that. Yeah, nine rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna have to be a big game. But you know what? I think we're gonna see a lot of misses. So
yeah,
I feel okay about it.
So it's good you didn't pull the both teams shoot, or one team shoots over 50%.
Yeah, right.
But maybe some of these actors or athletes could shoot 50% in an NBA game. It's athlete or actor.
Man, my button pushing is bad today. I'm sorry. I was a little bit premature on that one too, Miles.
It was a long day. Well, we got one more to really tie the bow on what we just talked about. I don't know how much you know about the scandal that Taryn's referring to about Michael Jordan. And if I had to assume it was going to be about, did you see the video of like Michael Jordan with that kid during, I don't even remember like what it was for.
No, do you want to lay it out for me, Miles?
It's pretty gross. Like he was in Taryn, you can keep me honest if this is what you're talking about. He was just kind of like squeezing his butt or something on like courtside, or it was weird. I haven't seen a lot of buzz about it though. I saw it when it happened, and then nothing.
Was this
really
like a recent thing that
this
happened?
Could have been like All-Star break. Yeah, this happened recently.
Interesting.
I mean, it wouldn't erase his greatness as a basketball player, but I mean, it'd be a huge stain just on his overall. Like he's more than just he's an icon.
Right.
He started Jordan. He owns an NBA team.
I also think that right off the bat, without seeing the video, and I'm trying to take a completely objective perspective here without having very minimal context to what happened. I think if you look at O.J. Simpson, his career is still talked about as a football player, and they keep that pretty separate from his personal.
Karl Malone.
So yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see. Even Ben Roethlisberger, right? There's a lot of players out there where their careers are kept very separate from their private life. So again, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'm not going to speak to that because I have very little context.
And I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. But it really hasn't been a lot of buildup of that. But that was just the bow to our little tangent that we went on. But yeah, like Jared said, if you guys have questions, throw them in there because we're not afraid to answer anything in spite of like whatever segment we're doing. So speaking of that, it's athlete or actor. We got 3 of them this week. Jared, I will start us off.
All right. I'm excited.
Well, yeah, and I'm I'm intrigued to know what.
Did you
I did
cheat?
not look that up.
All right.
No, I did.
All right.
I swear on my life, I really don't even remember his first name.
Okay.
But I feel stupid because I feel like I should know him. But we're gonna start off with James Dumont.
James Dumont.
And feel free to play along in the chat.
Man, if you guys don't know, if this is your guys' first time seeing athlete or actor, Miles and I are terrible at this segment.
Oh, horrible.
Because we do not know actors, and outside of football and basketball,
Pick the most obscure athletes to ever exist.
Yeah.
Like, we would never know.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go with actor.
That's correct.
All
Yeah,
right.
I
got some context for me?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
It could be a background.
It was the
actor.
Dumont, man. There's no
Yeah, that's Hollywood.
Yeah, there's no way there's an athlete out there with the
That's
last name
Hollywood.
Dumont.
Mhm.
It's Durant. All right, Miles. Garrett Hedlund.
Garrett Hedlund.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a name that would be announced over the intercom for like scoring a goal. Garrett, say the last name again.
Hedlund.
Hedlund. Oh, Garrett Hedlund. I'm gonna go athlete.
Athlete?
Yeah.
Garrett Hedlund starred in Tron Legacy.
Wait, who was he? Do you know who he played?
Oh, I already said we're both terrible at this, Miles.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I would know what like.
Hey, that's not that's not the question, Miles.
It's just for my own amusement. Yeah.
Put me on the spot
because
like that.
I would recognize him if I saw him. He's the son. Really?
Shout out Haley, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Haley. Wow. All right. Jared.
All right, Miles, what you got?
Who is Bison Deli? Delay.
Bison Deli is the place where you get your buffalo burgers, right? Is that no?
Where I get my buffalo
different.
burgers?
Okay, my
Yeah.
bad.
We could go there sometime.
Bison Deli?
Yeah. DELE.
Oh man. I'm gonna go athlete.
That's correct.
Woo, 2 for 2?
Couldn't even tell you what he does.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was a
Your context really your context is really lacking here,
I think
Miles.
he was a former NBA player in like the 70s or something,
Okay.
and he just got derailed by injuries.
All right. Now I'm kind of hungry. Bison Deli. It's not too bad, right? All right. Miles, this is the one that I asked Miles if he looked it up because I asked him yesterday. I was like, Miles, do you know who this is? And he's like, no. So if you guys know in the chat, give him a hard time for this. Miles, who is Apollo Ono?
I don't know, and I feel like because you're shocked that I don't know who that is, he's got to be an actor, because I would think that I would maybe have a better chance of knowing him if he was an athlete.
Miles, Apollo Ono is one of the most decorated American Olympic athletes like of all time.
In what event?
Short track skating.
Is he
was on like all kinds of commercials. He was all over the place. I mean, huge name. I'm so surprised
Apollo
that you don't know.
Ono?
Yeah, Apollo Ono. 8-time Olympic winner, so 8-time gold medal champion. And in 2017, he was elected to the International Athlete Hall of Fame.
What event again?
Olympic short track, speed skating.
Well, you know me and my
can't-
speed skating. I can't believe I didn't
Well,
know
it's
that.
not even about that though, Miles. Like this is like, I mean, how much do you know about gymnastics?
I can barely sit.
But you know who
crisscross
Simone
applesauce. I can-
Biles is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Apollo Ono was like,
Well, what
like,
was the time period?
in a way, right? Or I would say like early 2000s, maybe like mid 2000s. I
okay,
mean,
so I was still like a child.
in 2017,
like
he was
infant.
inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's got to be middle aged now.
I mean, and I'm getting flamed in the chat here. Is it embarrassing? Yes, but two things. Like, if he was prominent
He
in
was
like
on
the early,
Dancing with the Stars, Miles.
oh my, I watch that every Friday night.
I know that's your show.
if he was, first of all, like, if he's a winter Olympian, I never really watch the Winter Olympics anyway. And if he was if he was competing in the early 2000s, like I
Flame him, chat.
I couldn't even put on
Flame
my
him,
stocks
chat.
at that time. I needed a lot of help. So,
All right, you got one more for me. What you got?
I do. Who is Rock Cartwright?
Rock Cartwright. That's got to be an actor.
He's an athlete.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I think he was an NFL player,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Are you making that up because the
No.
chat's flaming you for not having context?
No. Haley's saying he retired in 2013, so yes, you were a baby. How old was I? 11 years old.
Oh my God,
I was pretty
Miles.
independent.
I was in high school.
Yeah, you were chumming it up with Brandon Ayuk, bro.
Oh my God.
Best
Why
buddies.
You gotta stop doing
No,
that.
it's
to
so
me.
cool.
All right, Miles. Who is Matteo Berrettini?
That's an actor.
Is it?
I don't know. It's an actor. I went 0 for 3,
Yeah, you went 0 for 3.
and you went 2.
I went 2 and 1.
two
Yeah,
and
I'll
3.
take that.
Yeah.
He is an Italian pro tennis player.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like, I would never know that. I mean, like, you guys can give me shit for Apollo, like, that's fine.
That one
But,
is
I
bad.
mean, that one's like.
That one is actually kind of bad.
Mhm.
That's like almost like Serena Williams bad. Like if you didn't know,
I know who that
Serena-
is.
Yeah, it's kind of on that level. I'm not gonna lie. All right.
Well,
Oh, poor Miles. I'm so
For-
sorry. The chat really got you on that one.
everyone knows Apollo. Ouch. Dancing with the Stars is on Tuesdays, I think. Well, not if you have it pre-recorded.
Does luge mean nothing? All right. Well, I'll tell you what does mean a lot to us. It's March Madness. It is time for some bubble talk, man. We got some players that are on the cusp of being number 1 seeds. And you know, we're seeing some different rankings from different sources right now.
Yeah.
ESPN has some of these teams ranked differently than the official March Madness page. And so, you know, I sent that to you last night. We chatted about it a little bit. But we're going to give you straight from the March Madness page of where these teams are projected to be. We're going to give you the number 1 seeds and the number 2 seeds, and then we will chat about our hometown team, the UNR Wolfpack.
Yeah. Yeah. Will they make it in?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
So, Miles, I'll take the number 1 seeds if that's
Go for
cool,
it.
and you
That's
take
fine.
the number 2s?
Yeah.
All right. So, in the East right now, it's projected to be Duke. Not surprised there.
Nope.
UConn is projected to take the South.
Gross.
And they recently snapped St. John's 13-game winning streak. So, and they
kicked the
crushed
shit
them.
out of them.
Oh yeah, 72-40. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, you know how high I was on St. John's last season. So
Yeah, you had them going Final Four, right?
yep. Yeah, pretty disappointing. For their run last season. And that was for the South. In the Midwest, we got Michigan, and in the West, we're coming home to you, Miles. It's Arizona.
They always know how to break my heart in the
And
tournament.
everybody else's.
Yeah, I mean,
Shy
I
away
swear,
from Arizona. I
every
swear.
time they have a number 1 seed, I know they're gonna lose. Like, they'd be lucky to make Sweet 16. And they barely. I mean, they beat Baylor the other night by 7, but they were down by 7, I believe, at halftime. That would have really screwed them over. Which honestly, I wouldn't have been mad at. Like, give them like the 4 seed or something. I'd be more comfortable with that. But,
Marla's shredding me in the chat right now too.
oh, he had you pick St. John's. Don't listen to this guy, Marla. But yeah, I mean, those are pretty familiar names for the March Madness tournament. I mean, Duke, UConn, Arizona. Pretty cookie cutter. Are you spamming? But yeah, while you do that, I'm gonna take the 2s. We
Yeah,
got
do it,
out of
man.
the East, we got Purdue. Out of the South, we got Houston. Midwest, Iowa State.
Mhm.
And out of the West, Illinois. You guys know your geography? But
And we,
Yeah.
we had to clarify this yesterday. If you don't know a lot about March Madness and how the brackets work when we're talking about East, West, South, Midwest, that's where the final 4 games will be played. So the bracket is broken up into 4 quads, and they're labeled. They doesn't necessarily stand for where those teams are from or anything like that. But they are labeled based on where the final 4 games are going to be played. And I don't remember exactly where, but I know that the South is final 4 game is going to be in Houston. The West portion of the bracket will be played in San Diego. And I can't remember what the other 2 are off the top of my head, but you guys kind of get the gist. So if you're curious about that, that's how that works out.
That is how that works out. How will UNR work out? They got, I think 2 of their last 3 games are pretty favorable.
Yeah, and I've got some context here for that. So they kind of fell out. They were having a really good season, and then they fell out of bracket contention a few weeks ago when they lost to San Jose State, and it was a bad loss, 87-71. San Jose State is not good. I think they have 5 wins this season going into that game, so pretty brutal. That was on February 17th. UNR's faced a lot of injuries this season. They've really struggled as far as staying healthy. But they have gotten healthy over the last week or so. They've had a lot of players come back from injury. And in doing so, they took down Utah State, so the Mountain West leader, right? 80-77 on February 21st. And then won a nail biter against another bubble team in New Mexico, 67-60 on Tuesday night. And I mean, the nice thing for UNR is that really at this point in time, they're going to have to win the Mountain West tournament to get in, right? But if they lost either of those 2 games, their chances were done. They were done, right? Cooked. And at this point in time, they have some really easy games to finish out their season. They've got 3 really easy games. They got UNLV, which is always right, Battle of the State, Wyoming, and the Air Force. 3 really either Air Force terrible teams or really middling teams in UNLV and Wyoming. And
UNLV has won 4 of their last 5.
They have. They're starting to get hot, and so we definitely don't want to overlook them. But if UNR can win out, right, and I'm feeling confident, especially after the Utah State win and the New Mexico win, right? Those are not small games. That New Mexico game was a quad 1 win, and UNR has not done well in quad 1 so far this season. So, if they can win out and then win the Mountain West tournament in Vegas, UNR will be a bracket team. Yeah. And that is, unfortunately, that's their only pathway, and it's because of the losses that they have had in quad 1. Going into the New Mexico game, they were 0-5 in quad 1 games. And if you guys don't know, those are high-ranking games that carry a lot of weight into tournament decision-making. So, and we'll figure it out. February 15th will be Selection Sunday, and we will see who makes it and who does not. So right now, I'm keeping UNR as a bubble team.
It's the only time I'll watch UNR basketball is if they make the tournament because it makes me mad.
UNR sports, period. I think. Yeah, it's pretty tough to watch.
I remember we were at I was at my brother-in-law's bachelor party, and we put on UNR playing Penn State week 1 in football, and I was like, oh, this is some bullshit. And then first couple of drives, I mean, they weren't horrible, and I just get mad. But for basketball specifically, I get mad watching UNR.
So Taryn asked us about Kentucky in the chat, and what it'll take for them to get back to their prime and the days when they were a juggernaut in basketball. And I'll be so real with you.
I think NIL has hurted them.
Did you say hurted?
Heart. Has hurt them.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I couldn't let you get away with that one. I also think that NIL has hurted them.
Yeah.
And
hurted the athletes.
What I was gonna say is money. That's what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of money. And Kentucky right now is putting a lot of money into their football program. They know that is significantly more lucrative, especially in the South, right? And so I think that they're going to start investing a lot of money into a sport that is a big market in the South. Not to say that basketball isn't, but basketball will never touch football as far as popularity and viewership and things like that. And those are wherever the market is, that's where they're going to put their money. So Kentucky football, I think, is on the up. I think their basketball may take a little bit of a hit. It just depends on how much money they're going to put into NIL. The transfer portal is a big deal, and those players are going to go where they're going to get the most money, and that's just how the market works these days.
Right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question, though. Well, if that's it for our bubble madness, let's jump back to the pro leagues and make our game predictions. Did the dance.
Yeah.
We've been practicing.
Right.
And we listened to that a little bit yesterday.
I think the dances are going to get better when we change the set, right? This is all going to be open. We're going to be able to get all this crap out of here, right? And we're going to, I don't know about you, Miles, but I may stand up and throw it back a little bit. Might have to.
I'm not complaining. You also said you can't wear your shorts anymore, but if you're going to be throwing it back, you got to wear those.
I'm pretty bummed about that, actually.
You should buy some the tearaway sweatpants, and then you can have your shorts on under. Yeah.
I'd be here for that. I'm here for it. What do you think, chat?
Oh man. But game predictions, Jared, you went 5-1, and I went 4-2. The only game we disagreed on was the Knicks and the Rockets, where KD gave you that dual threat bet win, put up 30.
And we saw a Sixers loss as well, right? We both
and
picked against the Sixers.
Right. So that was the only difference between you and I. But this week, we got some not as good games, to be honest.
Yeah, these games are not going to be good.
This Saturday is going to be boring.
Go ahead, Miles.
Starting off, Trailblazers at Hornets. I'm going to go with Charlotte. Yeah, I think they've shown that they can string together wins better than Portland right now.
I don't disagree with you, but I also think that Charlotte is still a mess, and West Coast is the best coast, baby. So I'm sticking with Portland. All right, next on our list, we got Houston at Miami, the Rockets at the Heat. The Heat are so unpredictable right now. And KD just put up 30. So
I'm going Houston.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Houston.
Yeah. And when in terms of the Western Conference, these are becoming must-win games because of how close it is. So Houston knows they can't drop a game to Miami right now. So third, we got the Raptors at the Wizards. I think this is about as cookie cutter as it's going to get. Toronto.
Washington ain't going to cut it, man.
No, they are not.
They just traded for 5 players who are on injury. I don't think it's happening.
Nope. Fourth up. Now, this is actually the only good game, really. It's the Lakers at the Warriors.
Oh, man.
What say you?
Does Curry play?
I could fact check that right now if you want me to.
Yeah, let's see if Curry plays, because that's going to make a big difference in what I say.
I would agree.
If Steph doesn't play, I think they lose. If Steph plays, I think they win. I think that they made a good move in bringing Porzingis onto the scene.
And he had a good first game.
He did. Yeah, he had 12 points. I think that is a kind of a game changer there, right? So
right.
And the Lakers are looking decent right now, right? They're not looking bad. Let's see.
There was a lot of controversy with that final shot. No, he's going to be out.
He's going to be out? Okay,
yeah.
I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But did you see all that controversy about like Luka not taking that final shot?
Yeah,
it was up to LeBron.
A bad pass to LeBron too.
Yeah,
like not even a good pass.
And his look was not good.
No, yeah, I don't know what they were doing there, but.
And then finally,
we got our dual threat bet,
the most electric game of 2026 so far. The Pelicans at the Jazz. gonna sound like the crowd too. It's gonna be an empty stadium.
I want to hear what you're picking first, and I want to hear why.
Honestly, man, I couldn't even tell you why I would pick either of these teams.
You want to toss a coin? Where's the coin?
Coin under the crown. Yeah.
You want to coin toss it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Heads New Orleans, tails the Jazz.
And is this only for me? Or
No, I'm doing it. Too.
Okay.
Yeah. So either way, we'll each both have a win or a loss.
Yeah.
Okay. It was heads.
What was that again? New Orleans?
Yep. It is the Pelicans.
Okay. Down in the bayou. So, and you are picking that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking to go undefeated. We have not had an undefeated game predictions week ever since starting this.
Well, okay, to be fair, basketball I think is going to be much, much easier, right? We're only picking 5 games for one Saturday, as opposed to picking 14 games in the NFL. It's much, much more challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds are through the roof, and the NFL is so unpredictable. So
yeah, any given Sunday,
Mhm.
but it could be any given Saturday going into this time of year. But yeah, I think it will happen with the NBA season.
Yeah, well, these lineups will never happen, Miles. It is our starting 5. We haven't done this one in a long time.
No, we have not.
Starting 5 ringless edition. So players without rings.
We were debating about players with rings.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna go scraping the bottom of the barrel for the Hall of Famers without any rings.
Do we flip
Well, they don't need to be a Hall of Famer.
Do we flip the Bacardi coin to see who goes first?
Yeah, because I assume we're gonna have a duplicate.
Mm-hmm. We didn't decide who was heads and who was tails.
Do it again. I'll call it.
Okay.
Heads.
It is heads, Miles. Go ahead.
All right. At the 1, point guard. I got, and there were a lot of options here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
Okay. All right.
2-time MVP.
I'm not surprised, but that's a good choice too.
Yeah. I think I know who you're gonna take.
Who?
I feel like you're gonna take either AI or
Mhm.
John Stockton.
Well, Miles, you're not incorrect. I did take AI.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, man, one of the greatest point guards of all time. So
Mhm.
how could I not?
And that's who I would have took. Jesus Christ. That's who I would have had if you had Steve Nash.
And I was really surprised to hear or to see a lot of these when I was researching this.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see a lot of these players did not have rings.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to shoot off the next one?
Go for it.
Okay. All right. At shooting guard, I got Mr. Reggie Miller.
Yeah, that's who I had too. I'll think of somebody else. I'll throw AI in there. I mean, he was a two-way guard.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he's pretty electric. And I mean, Steve Nash isn't going to be the focal primary scorer, so I can afford that.
All right, small forward, who you got?
This one's a little interesting. Because I know that I was thinking of taking Carmelo Anthony,
I also thought about Melo.
but I hate how he plays.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he will hog the ball.
I also think-
And he's a prolific scorer. I'm not taking that away from him.
yeah, but I also feel like later in his career, he really fell off.
He really fell off.
I
And he's
mean,
not a good defender.
His longevity was just not there at all.
He was not a good defender
Yeah.
either. So I'm taking Paul George.
Okay, all right. I don't
wanted
hate
a
that
good-
either.
I wanted a good two-way
I thought
forward.
I thought about Paul George too. But instead, I went with a current player in Jimmy B.
No ring, huh?
No
He's
ring.
been there twice.
Yep, he has made it to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
finals,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
the man has no rings.
Yeah.
And I really
That's a good
like
one,
Jimmy
too.
Butler, man.
I do,
mean,
too.
when he's healthy, right?
Yeah.
And he had a few really good, healthy seasons where he
Yeah.
was carrying teams. And I also had to double check because I was like, dude, Jimmy Butler doesn't have a ring? I was like,
Yeah.
what? But yeah,
well, and it gets messy because he's bounced around so much. I mean,
right. And he's played with some really good players on some really
Yeah.
good teams, and they've had some really, really fun runs to
Yeah.
watch. But yeah, no ring for Jimmy Butler. So at power forward, I got the mailman, Karl Malone, 3-time all-scoring MVP, 2-time MVP.
great dude off the court too.
Mhm.
I kind of, when I was doing my research, I saw that, and I kind of figured you were going to take him. So I was going to go to my Phoenix roots, and I'm going to take Charles Barkley.
I thought about Barkley.
Yeah,
I thought about Barkley. Yeah,
I
that was my number 2.
and I would have felt gross taking Karl Malone. And I know we just talked about this. Like, they separate the human from the player,
And you
with all
and
this
you have
shit
to,
that they do.
right?
But, like,
When we're talking about pure
that's
talent
gross.
here, in this scenario, we're talking about pure talent.
mhm,
That's it.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's still weird.
Yeah,
A bad dude.
He is
He's a bad
weird
dude.
and not a very good dude.
Last and certainly not least, I'm intrigued with who you're gonna take here.
Do you want me to go first?
You can go first if you want.
Yao Ming.
I thought about that. Yeah, but I think his injuries scared me
That's fair.
too much.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
So I took Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay, nice.
I believe he's
Very nice.
what was he, a 4-time defensive player of the year. I was trying to go like some good long defenders here,
Mhm.
especially with Paul George too. I was like, that's
Yeah,
good for a
you
wing
really
defender.
you
if
really
you
got the
Mutombo in the pen.
you really got
paint.
the defensive team over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Your scoring. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I went. I feel like very offensive, but with defensive undertones.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right. Jimmy Butler's a great defender when he's healthy.
And
So.
he can create his own shot.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that pretty much wraps up our show. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and check out the posts. We'll be hopefully getting some posts out this week. We've been having some technical problems really the last 2 weeks getting the live video out, or the video up, which is where we get our clips from.
Well, first it was like I corrupted the camera, and then so we had to upload the audio, and then I can't clip that for some reason, and then this last week too was just a little messy. So.
Yeah, we've just been busy, and it's it's just one of those weeks, man. But we'll start getting some more content out there very soon, and yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.